Warning, there's going to be some cussing. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Low Fact Podcast. Got Andy, Matt, and Dave here. I'm trying to...
Sound like you're from Hee-Haw?
I don't have to try that. I am from Hee-Haw. No, I'm trying to make our admonitions kind of cool, but that just doesn't really work. And I'm getting really distracted by the pretty lights on the on our new editing or our new sound setup. I'm just like, ooh, look at the pretty colors.
Ooh.
I knew this would happen.
I don't need to take drugs, man. I mean, the way my brain is now, anyway. It's like,
I don't know, drugs.
So is your brain pretty visual?
Yes.
Like you see little images of everything?
Well, yeah, I can see music.
I'm very visual. Anything that's described to me, I have to picture in my head. That's why I like hallucinates.
My brain's like this.
Doop, 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 doop,
I don't
doop.
picture anything.
You don't picture nothing? I gotta get you on like shrooms or something.
You know, when I open up a music score, I can see and hear it at the same time.
Really?
Yeah.
See, my brain's it's just like a vortex. It's just like nothing. Just blank.
And it's really sad because I'm a horrible musician, and you would think that if I'm afflicted with that kind of condition, I could be somebody with perfect pitch and just pounding out compositions, just ka-chunk, 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 ka-chunk.
They always forget that you played classical guitar and shit.
Didn't everybody play?
I'm a drummer.
Tenor
And I play
sax,
piano.
baby.
See, there you
Still
go.
one in the corner there.
I was a music major in college for a hot second.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Well, no, my advisor actually dissuaded me from keeping on. He was like, "This is a tough course, and you're gonna have to take a keyboard course to get your degree." And I was like, "Yeah, okay." And he's like, "But you haven't played piano." I'm like, "Yeah, I can learn." He's like, "Kid, there are people that have played piano since they were 3 that get D's on that keyboard course." I was all,
Oh.
"Can I take it pass fail?"
Well, I just need to see.
Played in a rock band for 5 minutes.
just need to pass.
You played in a rock band?
Yeah, with the tenor sax. Getting up, doing the solo and shit.
Oh, I thought
It's
you actually
awesome.
played amongst a bunch of rocks.
That's kind of what I thought. The audience was playing the rocks.
It was like my one rock band moment, you know, my rock star moment of just smoking the weed, going out there. It wasn't even that many people. Like, it was maybe like a couple of hundred people, but everyone's like, woo! And I was like, this is probably what it's like to be a rock star on a very, very small level.
Are you sure you weren't just hallucinating with people?
Pretty sure.
I'm pretty sure those rocks are really loud.
They can be, I suppose. So anyway, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about a couple of words that I don't think they mean what I thought they mean.
Is that right, Princess Bride?
Thank you for getting the reference. But no, you know, like propaganda and manipulation.
What about them?
Well, when you guys hear the word propaganda and or manipulation, what do you think of?
What's the big ones? You know, like the Nazis with the whole propaganda about like Jews are bad and manipulating their civilians to believe a certain thing. That's not only them. There's a bunch of other people that do it, but that's the main one. That's the biggie.
Okay, yeah, but it seems to me that because of the Nazis and the 20th century, propaganda has gotten this rap about being false, like being lies.
Well, a lot of the Nazi propaganda was lies.
I guess.
It was.
Well, I'm not pro-Nazi here, but I'm just saying that I don't think propaganda necessarily has to be lies.
Okay.
I think propaganda is more about
So you're not defending the Nazis then?
I'm not Aryan enough.
You're gonna lose your SNL job.
Maybe they should give it to me first, and they can take it away from me. And if I do lose my SNL job, it won't be over a tweet.
No, but I know what you mean. Propaganda is not always negative information. Like,
Well, it's
technically,
not. It's not always a lie.
The promotion of good health is propaganda around here, and that's not a bad thing. It's still propaganda, but
But that's what I mean. I mean, propaganda is really just mass psychology type of deal.
so you think it just gets a bad rep because when people think propaganda, they think, oh, they're trying to get me to think a certain way.
I think when a lot of people think of propaganda, they're thinking of lies.
Oh, so if you say that's propaganda, you're calling somebody a liar.
Essentially.
Yeah.
But I never really thought about propaganda as a lie. I thought about when I think of propaganda, I think of something that's trying to kind of message out and sway a lot of people, right? So when I'm just talking to someone one-on-one, I don't know what you'd call it, but if I do the same thing over a megaphone, then that is propaganda.
Okay.
And, it doesn't have to be a lie. It's just trying to get people to think a certain way about things. Now, there might be a lot of people using propaganda with lies, but, just because something's true doesn't mean it's not propaganda.
I have to say, when I say the expression "everything is propaganda," I'm really saying everything's a freaking lie.
Okay. So yeah, I mean, this happened because I was talking to a friend, a couple of days ago, and when I was proclaiming something as propaganda, she kind of rolled her eyes at me like I was crazy. But like I was saying that the actual news tidbit was a lie, and I'm like, I don't know if it's a lie or not, but they're definitely trying to use that information to try and get a whole bunch of people to think a certain way. So to me, that's propaganda.
So it just isn't like the label, that the fact that you called it propaganda kind of annoyed her.
I suppose, because I think she was thinking like you guys.
Which goes back to your point that the word itself has a bad rep because propaganda is always assumed as a negative thing.
Yeah, and according to my 30 seconds of internet research, propaganda was not always.
I wonder if it's a Latin word
Propaganda?
or Greek.
It is a new-ish Latin phrase.
It is
As opposed to oldish.
newish Latin. How can it be newish Latin,
Yeah.
bro?
It was
dead?
it was coined way after Latin was dead. Well, yeah, now, but I think it was coined in like the 1600s, early 1700s.
So they were still using Latin, but Latin was dead.
Well, we still use Latin, and Latin is dead.
That's true.
I don't think Latin's really dead if we still use it. I think we just like to call it dead because it sounds cool.
Well, they still have the Latin Mass.
Well, they say it's dead because nobody speaks it.
As we all talk about it and loosely speak it.
But
little
is
phrases.
Latin really dead? Because French, Spanish, and Italian are all based on Latin, and they're all being spoken.
It's not dead, it's just evolved into a bunch of different little things.
Speaking of which, I thought it was really funny when my Italian friend talked to a couple of my Spanish friends, and they were each speaking their respective languages, and they understood each other. And I was just sitting there going, wow, this is pretty trippy.
It is trippy.
Well, because there's a lot of similarities, but we just like to put labels and differences.
I suppose, but Spanish and Spanish and Italian are really similar.
There's similarities in Polynesian too, like between Hawaiian and Maori. They have the same word for ocean.
How did I know he was going to go to that?
That's my only experience of there being similarities between languages. I'm from the fucking Pacific. Bro.
Because you're 1/16th Wolverine?
Yeah. My great grandmother was a Maori princess.
See, I'm talking more about that.
Fuck you.
Mr. non-political version of Elizabeth Warren.
Do not.
Okay, I'm sure you've got more
Pocahontas.
more Polynesian in you than she did.
We're gonna
Native American.
23 me and you, and you're gonna have that.
I'm a sixth. No, I'm an eighth. Almost an eighth.
Right, like you're 1/16th Wolverine. Yeah. I mean, Andy here is more Native American than you are.
Yeah, because my people were raped by them, by the Spaniards. So like, I'm half at least.
Are you really?
I think I'm. I don't know. Isn't
Half
that how it works?
Spaniard?
Half Spaniard, half because the Spaniards raped the native people, and then the native people
All of
became
them?
a lot of them. There's a lot of rapage in Central America back in the day.
But you've got like strong South American Indian features.
Yeah, I'm short, brown. I'm not dark skinned.
Yeah, dude, you look like you should be running around in the forest naked.
Did the pedophile email not scare you enough?
You're gonna get the racist due to your disrespect of indigenous people.
Oh man. Well, actually, it is. What is it? Indigenous Peoples Day today.
It is it is that day today.
It's not that day. It's Columbus Day.
Columbus Day.
Well, the indigenous people can lobby for their own day, like the Italians lobbied for Columbus Day,
I don't know why everyone's hating on Christopher Columbus though.
because he's Italian.
Yeah, but like people are like defacing. It's like the whole defacing of the statues thing again. I'm just like, whatever.
Well, let's talk about that next time.
All right.
Well, there's another topic that I want to talk about, not your topic.
Okay.
God bless the Native Americans.
Hoorah. Thank you all for listening.
You can find us on Twitter, Instagram at LowFat Podcast. You can email us. Please email us, lowfatpodcast@gmail.com, or you can just search LowFat Podcast and find us on Stitcher, iTunes, and YouTube, or wherever else you pick up your feed. Thank you.